Ukraine Crisis Media Center continues its work, and the topic of the following briefing is the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and Ukrainian diaspora, organized by NGO Ukraine 2050. And we invite Eugene Czolij to the word.
Thank you. I welcome everyone online and offline at this press conference. My name is Eugene Czolij, and I am president of NGO Ukraine 2050, a nonprofit organization established in Ukraine in December 2019, head of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, and past president of the Ukrainian World Congress. 6 years ago, on November 3, 2015, in his testimony before the Subcommittee on Europe and Regional Security Cooperation of the U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee, former U.S. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Benjamin Ziff stated that, and I quote, "The Kremlin sponsors these efforts, namely efforts to sow doubt, confusion, and suspicion and question even the most basic truths, with a sophisticated 1.4 billion a year propaganda apparatus at home and abroad, which claims to reach 600 million people across 130 countries in 30 languages. The Russian government also funds think tanks and outside organizations in its neighboring states to help achieve these goals of promoting the Kremlin's false narratives, portraying the West as a threat, and undermining trust in independent media, as well as Western institutions and values," end of quote. In view of this, the main challenge for the international community is to raise awareness of disinformation among the population and promote a better understanding of the dangers of relying on information without knowing its source and motives. In Ukraine, this issue is even more relevant since Russia is, from 2014, openly conducting a hybrid aggression against Ukraine to regain control over it, and disinformation is a very important component of this hybrid aggression. In this regard, Ukraine and its 20 million strong Ukrainian diaspora must make every effort to counter such disinformation and ensure that the international community forms its opinions and makes its decisions about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora on the basis of accurate information. To help achieve these goals, on January 25, 2021, NGO Ukraine 2050 launched an organizational work to deploy the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, which is first, monitoring the media, social networks, and other information resources in various countries in the world for disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora. 2, analyzing the findings of this monitoring. And 3, taking effective measures to help counter such disinformation, including by sending requests to appropriate government authorities and administrators of media, social networks, and other information resources to exclude disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, and to block the sources of such disinformation. On May 16, 2021, the Board of Directors of NGO Ukraine 2050 elected the following leadership of this mission: Eugene Czolij, head of the mission; Miron Naida, executive director of the mission; Roman Panchuk, chief analyst of the mission; and Peter Shtik, director of strategic communications of the mission. The law firm Vasil Kisil and Partners is the legal advisor of the mission. The consultants of the mission are the following experts: Mariana Kitsa, associate professor at the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication of the Lviv Polytechnic National University; Nadia Bolovsyak, associate professor at the School of Journalism and Communication of the Ukrainian Catholic University; Marcus Kolga, director of DisinfoWatch and senior fellow at the MacDonald-Laurier Institute; and Artem Laptiev, Stop Fake fact checker. The language consultants of the mission are Irene Metsak, English language, Sophie Czolij, French language, Andreas Kaprotsky, German language, Jerzy Reit, Polish language, Miron Naida, Russian language, and George Danilyshin, Spanish language. Our mission has two teams, namely a team that monitors media, social networks, and other information resources in various countries in numerous languages, and generates reports on articles that disseminate disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, and a team that analyzes the data of the reports, draws conclusions, and takes effective measures to help counter such disinformation. As of this day, there are 166 members of the mission from 56 countries who are doing media monitoring on a voluntary basis since June 4, 2021, in 42 languages of the world. The following 42 languages in alphabetical order are covered by the mission: Arabic, Austro-Bavarian, Belarusian, Bosnian, Bulgarian, Crimean Tatar, Croatian, Czech, Danish, Dutch, English, Estonian, Finnish, French, Georgian, German, Greek, Hebrew, Hindi, Hungarian, Icelandic, Italian, Japanese, Kazakh, Latvian, Lithuanian, Luxembourgish, Macedonian, Maltese, Montenegrin, Norwegian, Polish, Portuguese, Romanian, Russian, Serbian, Slovak, Slovenian, Spanish, Swedish, Turkish, and Ukrainian. The media monitors of the mission are from the following 56 countries in alphabetical order: Argentina, Australia, Austria, Belarus, Belgium, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Brazil, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czech Republic, Cyprus, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Georgia, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, India, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Japan, Kazakhstan, Latvia, Lebanon, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, Moldova, Mozambique, New Zealand, Northern Macedonia, Norway, Paraguay, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Russian Federation, Serbia, Singapore, Slovak Republic, Slovenia, South Africa, Spain, Sweden, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, United States of America, and Ukraine. As you may have noted, our mission has monitors in all the G7 countries, all the 27 EU member states, and 28 out of 30 NATO member states. We're still looking for monitors from 2 NATO member states, namely Albania and Montenegro. If you know of additional potential candidates to join our mission as monitors from any country, particularly from Albania and Montenegro, please inform us. To better familiarize the members of our mission with the intricacies of disinformation, we conducted 2 online trainings on disinformation in Ukrainian on March 27, 2021, and in English on May 15, 2021. Since we wish to sensitize the general public and to raise awareness on disinformation, these online trainings on disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora were recorded and can be viewed on the NGO Ukraine 2050 YouTube channel. The mission's leadership held meetings with Ukrainian fact-checking organizations, Vox Ukraine and Stop Fake. Since Vox Ukraine and Stop Fake are fact-checking organizations mandated by Facebook to conduct fact-checking in Ukraine, it was agreed that our mission may provide disinformation materials for their verification to Vox Ukraine and Stop Fake. And if it is confirmed that the mission has found disinformation, such disinformation will be publicly marked as fake information on Facebook, or such disinformation will be blocked. Further steps to enhance cooperation and the capabilities of the mission include the establishment of communication channels with the International Fact-Checking Network, which brings together fact-checking organizations from around the world. This will render possible to mark and block disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, which is published on Facebook in different languages. A number of talks were also held between the leadership of the mission and the Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv, as a result of which it was agreed to sign a memorandum of cooperation with the aim to form a positive image of Ukraine in the international arena and counter disinformation against Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora. On June 4, 2021, during a press conference at this Ukraine Crisis Media Center, I announced the official launch of the Permanent International Media Monitoring Mission on Disinformation about Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora. Since this official launch of the mission on June 4, 2021, which coincided with the summer vacation period, monitors have nevertheless sent more than 100 reports. The mission's analysts analyzed these reports and prepared a list of disinformation narratives. During this period, our monitors revealed and our analysts summarized the following disinformation narratives that are mainly formed by the Russian powerful and well-funded propaganda machine. The narratives are: Ukrainians and Russians are one people. The Ukrainian government is illegitimate and is under the external control of the United States. In the east of Ukraine, there's an internal Ukrainian conflict. Kyiv is planning a military offensive on Donetsk. Ukraine does not comply with the Minsk agreements and violates the ceasefire regime. Ukraine depends on Russia and needs Russia's goodwill to exist. Crimea joined Russia as a result of a democratic referendum, and the revolution of dignity is a coup d'etat. Ukraine is a child of the Soviet Union and was created thanks to the Soviet Union. The decline of the Ukrainian economy and impoverishment of the population, testing of vaccines against COVID-19 on the Ukrainian military by the US government led to fatal consequences, ban of the Russian language in the Dnipropetrovsk region. Kievan Rus was historically Russian. Ukraine has created a water genocide in Crimea, and poll results indicate that the majority of Ukrainians are against the Ukrainian army and Zelensky's war in Donbass. Those are the narratives that our mission will now be working to counter and to block. I sincerely thank the leadership and all the members of the mission for agreeing to participate in this mission, as well as all the experts and consultants for their support of the mission. In closing, I wish to remind everyone that all relevant information on our mission is available in the media section of the website of NGO Ukraine 2050 under the link www.ukraine/2050.org. So www.ukraine-2050.org. Thank you for your attention. I am willing now to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Great job. My name is Andriy, and I have only one question. Could you tell us in more detail about the goals of your initiatives? Thank you.
The goals of the mission are first to expose disinformation against Ukraine and the Ukrainian diaspora, sensitize the general population to such disinformation, the existence of such disinformation, to train the untrained eye as to how to read and to ensure that one does not get disinformation when trying to get information, and to counter such disinformation with various methods. One, which I already explained during my presentation, which is to work with fact-checking organizations in Ukraine, Vox Ukraine and Stop Fake, to mark articles in social media that are disinforming the general public, or to even block sources that continually disinform. The next step will be now to work with the international network that has fact-checkers in various countries, so that we at least cover the 56 countries where we have monitors doing media monitoring in those countries, for them to reach out to these fact-checking organizations and to ensure that disinformation in various languages in the world are properly addressed with appropriate marking and blocking, so that disinformation about Ukraine in the Ukrainian diaspora does not continue to spread. We're also working, as I've indicated here, we are looking today, we will be right after this press conference signing a memorandum of cooperation with the Ukrainian University of Taras Shevchenko in Kyiv, where they have experts in journalism that will definitely help our mission, which, as I've indicated, is composed at this stage exclusively of volunteers, essentially composed of community leaders in various countries of the world and people who are interested in or have some form of training in media, in journalism and social media. And we will be looking for similar organizations and institutions in various countries that address the issue of information and counter disinformation, so as to block sources that continually disinform the general public.
There are no more questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.